Welcome to ADHD or Life, a couple's perspective. Join us, Adam and Donna, as we navigate the ups and downs of living with ADHD in a relationship. With no holds barred discussions and real life stories, we explore the journey of questioning ADHD and ask, is it ADHD or just life? Welcome to Is It ADHD or Life, a couple's perspective, where we unravel what it's like to live with ADHD within a relationship. And this week we're asking the question, is it ADHD or is it just the ups and downs of life? And we're going to delve into the last 3 weeks of our life, aren't we?
Been a roller coaster.
It has been a roller coaster. Hi.
Hi.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Yeah, welcome to our new home.
I know, it's lovely.
How amazing is this? So we've moved podcast homes. How's that made you feel? Like, because obviously with your ADHD.
Very nervous this morning. I was saying that I was more nervous this morning than I was the first time we done it.
Why is that?
Mainly because of there's no table. And I don't know what I'm doing, and now I'm sitting with a pad that I've still never wrote on. And yeah, but
because you like to hide behind something.
I like to hide behind it and have my pen and just pretend I'm writing. But no, I'm relaxing. I feel good. Feel okay. It's a lovely place.
Yeah. So this week's episode, then you came up with the idea of us exploring kind of like the last 3 weeks of our lives, because it's been in a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah. So we had a topic in mind, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then yesterday I was like, no, we scrap that. We need to just talk honestly and openly about what's been happening in the past 3 weeks, because it's been pretty intense.
It has been very, very intense. Okay, let's start from the beginning then. So I think it's all stemmed from I've gone back to work.
Yeah.
How has that affected you?
So the first week, that was great. Obviously, you love your work and it's brilliant to see you back at work and being so happy. And that's amazing. And the first week, I was ready for it. Notepad was full, and new year, new me.
Your list.
I was having my mushroom coffee in the morning. I'll talk about that later, but I was ready. I had my whole schedule done. Obviously, I've got the baby now a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
And that was fine. The first week was great. Oh, I was working.
I think that's why it was great, because you had work planned.
I was working, yeah.
So you wasn't at home as much.
No. The first week I was out. I was in Bradford the 2 days, so I never had the baby the first week.
Yeah.
And everything went well. I was making dinners and making lovely dinners.
It was lovely to come home and have that roles reversed.
And then someone got poorly. That was a turning point.
Who was that?
It was my son got poorly.
Oh, right,
he got the cold.
Yeah.
I don't mean bad.
I was thinking, oh my God, have I missed something in our lives?
No, it was just that bug, didn't it? It hit the house.
Yeah.
And then everything seemed to just turn upside down then. And that led to the second week, which wasn't as positive.
Absolutely not.
No,
I think we all suffered that second week.
We did.
Yeah. You were left at home with the baby that, like, some of the days that
yes.
So is it like, it's 1.5 days, isn't it, that it's just you and the baby?
But everybody wasn't well.
Yeah.
So we'd spent the weekend where we just took it in turns to everybody had a bad stomach, had the cold.
Yeah.
And then the baby was the last to get it.
Yeah.
And he was unwell going into the start of the week.
Yeah.
And then you went and left me and went to work with the baby and they're not well. And what am I going to do with that?
It's hard, isn't it? Because, like, obviously with the baby, he can't tell you what's wrong with him.
No.
And he just moans because he's not very well.
Does,
such a shame.
Yeah.
How did that affect you?
It was bad. It was difficult, and it's hard. It's hard work. Obviously, it's not nice to see him upset.
Yeah. And
that's horrible in itself. But you can't get anything done. You can't move. You cannot go out the living room because you just need to stay by his side.
He was so needy as well, wasn't it? So, do you think your not attention? What's the span that you have on it? It's like
attention span.
Is it?
Well,
yeah. So, like, how do you think your attention span was then, being at home with him? And
well, after 6 hours,
patience. Patience.
Well, after 16 hours of Miss Rachel, my patience was really wearing thin. There's only so many times you can do.
But it's weird that because
No.
I know you to block stuff out, right? So I know that if there's something really annoying going on in our living room from one of the children,
yes,
like so like for example, the baby is, I don't know, moaning. I know that you can block that out.
But that's different if you're there.
What? Because I just think
I can block it out and just pretend that I don't know anything's good. But if it's just me and the baby, then obviously I'm in charge. I need to look after him. Weird. But taking the baby out of it, obviously it's difficult. It's difficult. Obviously you're back at work, and now I understand what the whole body doubling thing is.
Yeah.
Because when you're at work and I'm on my own, I just like I freeze. I don't get anything done.
So I noticed that. So even I'm not gonna like slag it, but even little things.
No, but after the past 2 weeks, I deserve it.
Oh yeah, you do. But even like little things, like I would come home and like there'd be no dishes done, and I understand that, like, but for me, you find a way to make it work. So if I was on my own with the baby, I'd take the baby in the kitchen with me, and don't get me wrong, you'd open a drawer and he'd take stuff out, but I'd deal with that afterwards. So for me, I was coming home not understanding why you couldn't just get stuff done.
No, I cannot imagine that. I cannot imagine getting into the kitchen. I couldn't even make dinner because we couldn't go into the kitchen because he's just.
But do you not sit there and think, well, Donna does this. Donna can go in the kitchen and make dinner. So when I'm on
Donna, didn't it? Yes, that crossing my mind.
Okay.
And then I think, no. Honestly, it's not that I don't want to.
No.
It's stuff that I don't know how you do it. Is that what you want?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But there was so much more to it as well. There was, it took a proper downturn. Mood-wise, mentally, everything just went out the window. And that, I think a bit of the paralysis came in.
Okay.
Where there was days you came back and I was still in my house coat, which is definitely called a house coat.
That dressing gown for anybody
a house
else.
coat. And that's because I was just sitting with the baby all day, and we just sat in the living room, we were playing, and I was trying to tell myself that that's all right because it's just one day and he's not too good, and let's just relax for the day and stuff. But then I would feel so guilty about that, and it felt terrible.
I think you find that mind numbing, don't you? Like you've kind of got to be kind of up and doing.
Yeah.
A lot of the time when you're not having that like downward
Definitely.
spiral.
Yeah, it's just I don't like just sitting doing nothing, which completely goes against everything I've just said, because that's what I've done. So you're kind of doing it against your will. You're not doing anything, but you want to be doing stuff. Go on.
No, go on. Sorry.
And then that plays in your head. So then you end up exhausted because of what's been going around in your head all day. You've talked yourself into being tired, but not actually moved. So
it's almost like you're putting yourself in that state. Is that the paralysis?
I think so. Yeah, from what I've gathered, that's the paralysis is where you want to do something, but physically can't. You just can't do it. And there's so much stuff that I want to get done. The ideas in my head are amazing. You
say this to me, don't you? Like you say, you've got like 1,000 ideas in your head, and you want to like get these holiday ideas out.
Yeah.
But you think of that idea and you just like bam, it's like a block.
Yeah, and that's it. And you can't do anything about it. The amount of times I'll go to the laptop and I'll put it on, and then I think, no, can't do that. I just cannot do it.
Is this something, so the paralysis, is this something that you've always suffered with, or is it just something that's come to light maybe not since you've had the baby, but in the past couple of, or since we've been talking about ADHD?
So I think the baby thing we've been saving, haven't we? That's going to be a big one.
Big episode.
I think could be even the next one, actually. But since the baby came along, obviously it's changed everything. However, now that you've went back to work, and I find myself getting into an old cycle, and I've realised myself that I've always done it, always.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. So I'll sit all day and have all these plans, have everything in my notebook, all my to-do lists and all my this and that, and then I'll lie on the couch and watch Emmerdale until 45 minutes before you get home, and you'll tell me that's me on my way, and I'm like, boom! Wow, you should see me move. And then you'll come in, you'll be like, wow, you spent the whole day tidying. And yep, not stopped. And I'll put paper about so you think I've been working as well.
Oh my God, you're like living a double life. Living a lie.
That's what it feels like. But that deadline, I love that. I love that when you're coming home.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's right, I need to move, I need to go, I need to get it done.
Okay, so what is it about then? So are you scared of me? Like, what if I walk...
Badly.
You should be. No, but like, if I walked in and the house was like a bomb city, because the toys were everywhere, etc., would you be scared for me to walk into that?
You say that as if you've almost never seen your face.
No. We talk about this. You read my face wrong sometimes.
No, if you walk in, then I can gauge in about half a second how happy you are or not happy you are with the situation that's going on round about you. And that can then impact the rest of the night.
Was that a me problem?
No, absolutely not.
Right, okay.
No, that's... Imagine if, like, flip it round and I come in from work and look at your eyes, and the house is a bomb site and there's no dinner made and you're sitting in your house coat. Can you imagine?
You would. You would be raging, wouldn't you? And
you're like, but I just enjoyed the day. No, no. It's definitely not a you problem. It is a me problem. And when I'm reading your face, I believe that's because I'm only thinking what I think.
Yeah, of course. You're thinking how you would feel if you walked into that. So you're thinking, oh, she must think the same.
Yeah. And then I see your face and realise you're thinking the same.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, for the past... So I work every day, so I work 3 days a week. And for a lot of them days that I've been coming home, I have made tea.
Yes, but that's because we never had the ingredients in. You don't want me to go to the shop
Here,
as well,
Donna,
do
let me
you?
take the ingredients off you and I'll cook the tea now.
Oh, no, because then it's... I don't do pasta. I can't do pasta.
So you mentioned about body doubling. Talk to me about that, because I don't think we've really touched on body doubling.
No. I think that must be about 80% of your job in life.
That don't get paid for.
Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I never knew that was a thing until obviously researching it and things. But I just work so much better if either you're there, not even telling me what to do, just there watching me with your eyes.
You know, you sound evil.
No, I'm sorry. No, you're not like that. But it gives me the push to get stuff done, because even if you'll just check in and say, what you doing? Why are you back on Facebook?
Why have you just put the laptop down to scroll on Facebook Marketplace?
But that helps. And even if you're not saying anything, it's as if I'm almost, I don't know, I want to say showing off. Like, look at me getting on my work done.
No, yeah. But that probably is what it is.
Yeah, because you're then worried about what somebody else is thinking about you.
Yeah.
So that's what I get from it.
Okay.
So then obviously I'm thinking, well, Donna's back at work, I need a body double, so I better book an ADHD coach who I went for an appointment with, and then cancelled the next day because I had regret. And then
you asked me, can I have a PA or something?
A VA. I want an ADHD VA. That's what I want. That's what I need in my life, and it'll change our lives, and it'll make it so much better.
So do you know where my head goes when you say that to me? Because obviously this podcast is about, not just about how you deal with stuff.
No, it's about you.
It's about how I deal with it as well. Not having ADHD. But when you say to me things like, I need a VA, I need an ADHD VA, 2 hours a week, she'll answer all my emails, she'll do blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why can't you just do it? Because you've got, so I'm not saying you've got a minute every day, I'm not saying that, but...
If there's one thing I've got, it's time.
Oh, you sometimes, not all the time though. So Wednesday, you wouldn't get a thing done because you've got a the baby. Mm-hmm. But I just think like a Friday, for example, you've got nobody around you. That should be that could be your work day. And that would be the 2 hours that this person, the VA, is going to work.
So Friday's an interesting one because obviously that's a day where that's my working day. I can't believe I just done that. Working day. No, that's my mental health day. That.
But it's okay. So when's your working day? But then you were then.
Monday's my working day because you're off and I'm off and we bounce off each other. That's my admin day. But Friday's my mental health day.
But then what I see is you will then, when you don't get stuff done, you take it out on other people.
Like,
it's one of my.
For example.
It's one of my points.
Go on, I'm listening.
So I've wrote a bit of like a list of what's been going on the past 3 weeks. And it's more obviously from my perspective. So I've noticed that for the past 3 weeks, I don't know if it's because it's just gone downhill, but you've kind of let your standards slip a little bit with regard, not appearance or anything.
Excuse me.
You don't smell. But like with regards to things like cleaning up after yourself, for example, I think it's got worse. So I don't know if my 5 minute moan ever was about the dishes being left.
Oh, that's just a lifetime moan.
No, that's coming. But I just think more so now than ever, I think it's come to light that like you just don't tidy up after yourself at the minute. And I don't know if that was just because of the downward depression that you were going into, that you just thought, don't give a crap.
So it's interesting that you say about depression, because I think throughout my life, when I've went through weeks like this, like the past 2 weeks, I've thought, that's depression. I'm suffering depression. I don't want to move. I don't want to. But
before we had the baby, you would stay in bed all day.
Yeah, I would. And throughout my life, I've had bouts of just not being in bed all day or sleeping or just being so drained. I'm starting to believe that it's never been depression.
Okay. And what is it?
I believe it's all to do with ADHD.
Oh, right. Sorry. Right. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Is it ADHD though? Or is it just that you get into your head that, she'll do it, or the fairy will do it, and that was a fairy, will do it, and it'll get done?
Absolutely not. And I promise you that right now, it is not. That I would never do that, assuming that you'll pick it up. I'm going to take that promise back just quickly for a wee minute, because there's one
cogs in your head then change.
There's one situation where I don't do that, and it's at dinner time, and it's the one time I'm aware that I'll put my plate down knowing that it'll get moved. It's the only time I'll ever do that. The only time. Everything else is genuinely not meant. Not that I mean to do it. Sometimes I get up and get the plates. I've done that once last week.
Was it Thursday when I wasn't there?
It may be. But
because I'll come downstairs and I'll find like a coffee cup like on the couch, like where obviously you've had a drink and you've just left it on the couch, and I'm like, who does that? And not all. Don't get me wrong, it's not all the time, but I just think in this past two weeks, it's really got worse. And
it's been bad.
Yeah,
it has been bad, and that is it's not something I've meant. Honestly, I promise you, it's not something that I've deliberately done. It is. It's just, I've found everything so difficult in the past 2 weeks. It has been unbelievable. And
it's mental that it's not that I don't understand, but like I can't get my head around the fact that I would think to myself, if I can do it, why can't you? And that's just obviously why our brains are wired very differently. And
it must be frustrating though for you.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like I've wanted to punch you in the face a few times. Yeah, I love you more than anything, but I've wanted to. Yeah,
I believe it. I can imagine.
I just feel like my issue as well is I don't want that to travel down into the children where they think it's okay to just leave their stuff about because it's okay because Donna will do it. And I don't want them to look up to you and see that, well, if my dad does it, then it's all right that I do it. Does that make sense?
I get that. I would like to think that wasn't the case, but you're probably right. It would, yeah.
And it's not that I won't do it. It's just, I just think...
No, you will.
No, I do. I do it. But it just makes me so annoyed because I just think you don't care. But and that's not what it is. But that's where my head goes.
So, being about total honesty today.
Yeah.
No, you, me.
Yeah.
What about looking at the glasses at the side of my bed? That is a sure sign that things haven't been good for a fortnight.
So there's been about 4 glasses empty at the side of your bed. But to be fair, I don't really see it.
But I notice that. And it's another thing that I'll see and I'll think, and I know that you won't get them because you don't.
Absolutely not.
So I rest my case.
But what?
So it's not about you
right,
going to do it after it.
Yeah.
It's just a...
Although I do, because I did take them down last week because we had somebody come in. I don't want to say who.
That's different. Yeah, I don't clean either. But yeah, so it is not about assuming that you'll do it. Honestly, I hate thinking that you think that because it is not. It is just everything get too much. Everything was too much.
In your brain, what stops you from looking at them glasses? You know you're going downstairs, you've got your phone in one hand, you've got a free hand. What stops you from thinking, oh, just take them down?
I don't have an answer. I don't know. It's not...
It's mad, isn't it?
It is. It's... I don't know is the answer. And it's not laziness. Because it's not... I'm just like, oh, that's it. I'm going out to work. I'll deal with it later.
Yeah. I think we all have them moments. I just think you let it build up. It's a level thing again that we always talk about.
I think we should change your name.
To levels.
ADHD levels.
Yeah. But I do think that we all have them moments where we think, oh, I'll do that later. Because there's probably like a baby bottle at the side of my bed where Theo's had his bottle in the morning. And...
Baby's called Theo.
we said we were going to use kids' names, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he's had his bottle, but I don't take it down because I forget. But then I will.
No, that'll be cheese by the time I get to it.
Yeah. And it's a level thing again, isn't it?
Until... So then there'll be the day, which in this occasion was meant to be Friday.
Okay, yeah.
I phoned you and I says, look, I'm sorry.
Do you know what, that phone call, I mean, this should probably come later on, but that phone call, because I'd been thinking in my head, right, I need to send him a text message, and this text message was going to read, basically, that you need to get your shit you need to get your act together, because this is ruining us, and I'm not sure what, where we go from here. And not that we'd ever... Yeah. But do you know what I mean? And that phone call couldn't have come at a better time, and you phoned and you apologised basically and said, like, I want to start afresh tomorrow. I think that probably took a lot of guts to do that.
And that was me, new year, new me, new life. So I'm starting fresh Friday. And then, no, it never.
So we'll talk about that Friday, actually, because I feel like I have also been used as a bit of a punch bag, emotionally maybe, recently. And that's easy because it's easy to take it out on somebody. And that somebody would be me because... I'm the closest to you. Or the poor baby when he's moaning.
He's been a lot.
But, like, obviously Friday's a bit of a rush for us because I get home from work, we have a quick tea, and then we all go to your pub quiz. And I feel like we try and make it work as fast as possible and stuff. And I was desperate for a little nap when I got in on Friday because I'd been up since 4:30. Yeah. Yeah, and I got that nap and stuff. But then we get in the car, and you then turned into a stink. Excuse me. It turned into a stinker, and the first thing you said to me was, "This can't happen every week. This can't happen. I've got to leave earlier." And I was just like, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm just being absolutely told off," and it may put me in a bad mood. Yeah.
I hear you. I am aware, so I know exactly what happened, and it was that that we spoke about before, the rushing about and that pressure, and I'm going to be late, and that stressed me out completely. But I know that I then put you in a bad mood, and then I watched you get deeper in a bad mood, and then I got deeper in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And then it just and there was no going back. That was it. We were gone for the night, and that night was ruined.
And it's horrible because I think this has happened a lot this past 2 weeks where, I try so hard to like not take your mood on, but sometimes it's just impossible. I think that's probably a normal person. If you were with somebody and they are really positive and really happy, you become that person, you become really positive and really happy. Whereas if you with somebody who is probably on a downward spiral, it really affects you, and then you end up going like that, and meaning me. And that's happened probably every day the past 2 weeks.
I think the whole thing's been overwhelming. That's the other. In fact, no. What's next on your list? If that was number one, strap in.
Oh no! That was probably the big thing. But like, I think I feel like I felt like a punch bag, and that was the big thing.
And I apologise for that. It's the overwhelm, which is. I think the idea of today was to go back to is it ADHD or is it just life?
Yeah.
So people get moody. It gets too much for people.
Yeah.
The past 2 weeks have just floored me, absolutely floored me. It's been bad.
We've got a new normal, haven't we? Because with me going back to work,
yeah,
this is our new normal now, and I think it's that change and that shift.
But it should be a great thing, and it was a great thing the first week. Remember that first week? The times were good.
We were so in love and so happy.
It should be great. It should be. We've got this Monday, Tuesday, half the day. I love spending I don't for a minute think that you don't enjoy spending time with him. And I take the baby out for lunch. We go to lunch and then drop him off. And it's brilliant. It's good.
That kills me.
Wednesday's going to be a struggle. It's just it's hard work. Having the baby. And you've done so good for the past 16 months, and
like, and it's bizarre because obviously I know how much you might. I'm not saying you will or you do, but you might struggle with being alone with the baby all day. But then the other side of me is like, I do that every weekend because obviously you work on a weekend.
Yes.
So I do that every weekend.
And you like it?
Yeah, I love it. It's just weird, isn't it, how different our brains... It just shows that... You've got it now, not. No, like, do you know what I mean? It just shows how different the brain actually is.
Yeah, definitely. It's stuff that you deal with well is completely alien to me and just sends me crazy.
Yeah.
And I've noticed a difference. I've noticed, like, the kids have noticed. I can see them looking at me like, what's going on with you? And... I can't explain it.
And how does that make you feel?
Terrible, absolutely terrible between you and the kids. And I think it's bad, but I can't just change it. It's not as easy as just saying, like, snap out of it kind of thing, because if I could, I would. I don't want to be... Like, I go and do my job, obviously. I'm
Fadim. Fake Adam.
I've got to go and do... excuse me, I'm in front of people like every night. But I think that's even more of a reason why I'm not like that in the house, because
it must be exhausting.
Yeah, like, it's masking. There's another term.
The masking, yeah. Because I know that Friday, for example, last Friday.
Oh, I've got a question.
No. On the way, I felt bad because then you were in a bad mood, but then obviously it put me in a bad mood. And then I was like, you need to snap out that bad mood, Donna, because you need to try and bump him up a little bit. But then I thought, what can I possibly do? Because I don't think it's going to work. And that puts a lot of pressure on me.
I would love to know, how do you feel because I thought about this as well, how do you feel when we've went through all that in the car and stuff, and we're in bad moods, we walk into the pub in a bad mood with each other, and then you see me taking that mic, and what goes through your head then?
But
I bet you might kill me.
No, in my head, I hope that we can just forget about it, and then we kind of secretly, quietly, without saying to each other, we make friends, and then we're okay. Because in the car going home, we were all right. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So I just hope that when you go in, that your work kind of pulls you out of it a little bit, and then we're okay after that. Because you know what I mean. I'm like a sweeper under the carpet kind of thing.
Yeah.
So no, I would rather do that than actually, because I was dreading having to send you a text message to say what's going on. Again, I could never do it to your face.
No. But.
No, but you could.
But you're doing it in front of about 10 viewers.
I'm
very much all about let's talk about it.
But I'm not like that. I don't want to talk about my feelings.
No.
And that's for fear of hurting you, I think, or saying the wrong thing, and then it just escalates even worse. But yeah, sorry, back to the Friday. So I look at you and I think, oh, he's doing his job, and then we'll be okay. That's what I think. That's what goes through my head. But then me and the kids we do look at each other. We send each other looks.
Oh, I know.
So when you get out of the car, you're in a bad mood, and we're just like, what's all about? Like, because something fell in the back of the car, didn't it? And you were like, I couldn't put it anywhere else. And then me and your daughter were just like, it was just like, you know, that it had fell. And that smile that you did, like you do like a, sorry. But you do this thing where you just, and I want to punch you then. Definitely. So you mentioned before about masking. That must be exhausting.
It is.
And you must have done that a lot this past 2 weeks.
But there's nothing worse than feeling like that in the house, but then having to go and put on a show, basically, which is what I do for work. But I tell you what, work has helped me.
Right, okay.
Through most of the time, through the past couple of weeks, and especially the kids' parties. And I don't know if it's because, obviously, I love what I'm doing. There's the interaction, and it feels good. It's good. It's good doing what I do. Or is it the exercise? So I've been thinking about this a lot recently. And is it the fact that, I mean, you know, on a Saturday I'll burn 7,000 calories, 8,000 calories.
You do 30,000 steps.
But I always feel good until, obviously, I get home and crash out. But mentally, I'm all right. Mentally, I'm a lot better than I am during the week when I'm not doing anything. So, is it just that I need more exercise?
Oh, so maybe it's not ADHD, maybe it's just lazy.
Maybe I'm just lazy.
Yeah. So,
fat.
Because your eating's took a dive as well, hasn't it? Like, you started off, the start of the 3 weeks, you started off so well, calorie counting, and then you just hit a wall where it's just bam.
So, that's been massive. I don't understand this because for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I was on it.
Yeah.
And I was using my app and I felt brilliant. And see, when you're feeling brilliant and eating well, you think, why would I ever go back to eating poorly? And this is a new me. I feel fantastic. Why would I ever eat chocolate? And then something will happen and you just think, oh my, and it's chasing that hit, the dopamine that we always talk about. It's chasing that, and then all of a sudden I'm raging, I need chocolate. Because chocolate is the easiest thing to get and the safest thing to turn to. So you'll get that bar of chocolate, and then before you know it, you're eating a packet of Hobnobs in bed every night again.
And a bowl of
because
custard.
It makes you feel good.
And a bowl of Cocoa Pops. So what about, like, what if we cleared out the conservatory and you got your dartboard back? Would that not give you the dopamine hit that you need? I
think it would. It's something that I don't wake up every morning thinking I'm going to eat 10 bars of dairy milk.
No, of course not. No, well, I don't know, but I think you dream about it.
No. But it's so weird because it's a circle, and I want to say cliche, is it that I can hear myself talking.
Yeah.
But you feel like shit, and then you go and eat a bar of chocolate, 2 bars of chocolate, snack size.
Snack size.
And then you feel a bit better, and then that makes you crash and you feel terrible. So then the next day, because I eat at night, and when I'll wake up in the morning not feeling good, I don't feel great. You're not ready to start the day the way you are when you're eating better. So therefore, halfway through the day, you're like, might as well have a bar of
Yeah.
chocolate. And then it's a cycle.
Do you think that's got you through the past 2 weeks?
I think it's been a help and a hindrance.
Yeah.
Where it's helped me, like, immediately.
Yeah.
But it then gives you the crash and you feel terrible. And that leads to mood swings. I know it leads to mood swings. The sugar and the eating poorly makes you... But then I can hear myself say it and think, but you're eating a packet of hobnobs in bed. So, doesn't it make sense?
So you wonder to yourself, like, why do you do it to yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
And but then you can't stop.
No.
And it's that dopamine hit, isn't it, that we talk about?
Yeah.
So what has kind of pulled you out then? Because obviously for the past, since Saturday, I think things have been better. It's only been 2 days. But, no, but you know
We're
what
going
I mean?
strong.
But what do you think is then, what's made you turn around and think, right, okay, no more?
So I think self-awareness
Okay.
has got a lot to do with it, and I'm always very self-aware. I know that these things are happening. Most of the time I can't change it, but there's got to be a part of you that it is down to you to change it. It's only me that can change it. So you need to have a word with yourself, basically, and you need to look at what you can change and do it slowly.
Yeah.
Which, again, easier said than done. It's been a strong 2 days. But you've got to look at the eating. Well, you know, I'm all or nothing. So
Yeah.
I won't just change. I've just said you've got to do things slowly. And I don't do that. I think it's Monday. It's change day. And I think I've got to just keep telling myself that until it clicks and fits in. Do you think... This came to me last night, right? I've wondered this for a while. Do you think I've got a time of the month?
I always think you have. Yeah. I always think, it must be your time of the month.
I genuinely think there's a cycle where... No, I don't... I shouldn't have said cycle.
I mean, you've got 3 children, so...
But I think there is like a downtime every couple of weeks, every 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'll just hit a cannabinoid.
This is an excuse.
No,
But I don't do this.
no,
I don't fall into that hole.
I think I've caught it.
What do we... Have we... What's it... We're in sync.
Yeah.
We're in sync. Oh my God, imagine we were both like that on the same weeks. Christ.
No, but I think it is a cycle, and I'm just putting it out there. I think there's like a week every 4 or 5 weeks where I just hit a downward spiral.
We used to say it was a Thursday, didn't we? We used to say Thursday was a bad day for us because when I used to work Thursdays, I would come in from work, but you'd be going to work, but we'd always have a chicken dinner. And it was very full on, wasn't it? Like, because you'd be making that dinner, but you'd be out all day. So maybe it's a week thing now then.
Yeah, could be.
So going back to then the question,
Oh,
so, is it ADHD or is it just a highs and lows of life? Looking back at these 3 weeks, what do you think? Can you pick points out where you think, oh, that's definitely ADHD? Or
I would like to think that I've 100% proven today that it's just ADHD and it's not me. Yeah.
Maybe swore again then. Your mum's going to slap me. So I don't agree with that.
Okay.
So I think, don't get me wrong, some things, like when you say that you get the paralysis thing, yeah, that's ADHD. That's one of the symptoms maybe, or one of the things that you suffer from. But I also think that there are some things where I just think you've just been unreasonable.
Okay. No, disagree. What about the overwhelm and the masking and stuff? Remember I said they words too?
Oh, yeah. But I just think that sometimes you might use them as an excuse.
Okay. Any examples?
So, for example, in the car, when the box fell...
Oh, that's Friday. Friday's hit you bad.
Friday was a bad one. And the box fell, and then you shouted straight away, but there was no need for that. And I think that was just you on one.
That was a bad mood. That could have...
So that's life. That's not ADHD.
No.
But I think you will try and blame that on the fact that...
The overwhelm and the masking.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I just think there are definitely some points throughout this week, or this couple of weeks, where it's not been just the ADHD.
Maybe.
Just to flip it on its head, do you think there's anything I've done that's...
I think you get tired.
Oh, absolutely.
I think, obviously, I'll go back to what I says at the start. It's so good to see you back at work because you need people round about you. We've discussed this, and it is great. It is brilliant to see you back. But you're tired. You're a tired girl.
Of course, yeah. I'm up at 5:30.
I know.
I don't get in till like 5 o'clock. And
it's justified tiredness.
Yeah.
But a bit moody when you're tired, aren't you?
I can be a bit short. But then, does that not make you think, oh, that must be how she feels when I'm...
No, that makes me feel, oh my God, she's in a bad mood. She hates me. She doesn't love me, so I might as well be in a bad mood.
Or it's like, she knows what I'm like. She knows I've got ADHD. She can't be in a bad mood. That's definitely what you do. More than that. She knows how I'm feeling. She's a bow down to my feelings.
No, I think it's, you deal with stuff so well, and I've always said this, and I don't understand it. I don't know how you do it, but you just get on with stuff, and you'll be tired, and you can see that you're tired. You just get on with it, and you do your thing, and you go to work, and you don't moan, and you don't get a chance.
I'm too busy doing.
And you do just get on with it, and that's amazing. That is brilliant. So no, I think you've dealt with the whole thing good, and it is good to see you back. I think it's just that I need to work on routine and make things better for us.
Because obviously my biggest thing going through this is, oh my God, what have I done? And I think I say that to you when you're like in a mood, and I'll be like, oh, have I done something? What can I do to help, or what have I done to change it and stuff? And I have asked you that.
Yeah, but more than that, you just look.
Oh yeah, of course, but I do ask because I worry that I've done something wrong. But I think that's human nature, isn't it?
I would say 9 times out of 10 you haven't. 9.5 times out of 10 you haven't.
I'm glad that's on record.
Yeah. But I've got ADHD.
No, yeah, you've not. Undiagnosed.
Yeah.
That was a good kind of explore of the past 3 weeks, and I feel like I was worried coming into this. When you told me this yesterday, that this is what you wanted to explore, I was like, oh my God, this is make or break for us. This is like...
I thought it was important to go into it blind and just be honest, because that's what this is about, and hopefully people feel the same and think it's not just us.
And I suppose it's good to go back to the initial question, because it's good to talk about, all right, okay, do I lose my keys all the time? Or am I just lazy? Or do people just hate me? But actually, dealing with it day to day in life is a big question. Okay, so the next thing is our 5-minute moan. Don't. So this section...
We've got a new place. Why are we still singing that?
This section, we talk to each other about our 5-minute moans. It's always me that goes first, isn't it?
I think that for this week that should be the same.
Oh, so, okay, I'll come to you in a second. Okay, so my 5-minute moan this week then is Adam likes a baguette. Would that be a bread baguette?
Yes.
You love it when we come home and we've got the big bread baguette.
Love a baguette.
What Donna doesn't love is coming down in the morning, and you can tell Adam's bad at baguette because there's crumbs everywhere, the knife's still out. Oh, it gets on me. And I don't know if it's because it's the past 2 weeks, but you need to start cleaning up after yourself with the baguette.
Okay.
That's my 5-minute moan this week.
I hear you. I realise you're specifically talking about this morning.
No, I'm not. Oh, no, I'm not.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So the other week I came down to make the baby's bottle, and it was like 4 a.m. in the morning.
Oh,
and
it's one or the other.
Every time you pick
It's 4 a.m. or in the morning.
It's 4 a.m. And the knife was still out. The packet of crisps that you'd put on the baguette was on the side. The baguette was finished, but the baguette wrapper was just there, and there was absolutely a ton of crumbs. Like, because you, for some reason, I don't know why, but you just chop it on the board, like on the, what's it called? The kitchen.
Worktop.
Yeah, the kitchen worktop. You just chop it on there.
Yeah.
Get the chopping board out. Anyway. So 4 a.m. I came down and I was like, grrr. Okay, made the bottle, went to bed. Got up in the morning. It must have been the Thursday because you'd taken the kids to school. I then came down with Theo and it was still there. Grrr. And you'd been opening that kitchen making coffee.
Okay.
The bin is right there. Put your rubbish in the bin. It did happen again last night, actually.
Yes.
You finished the chocolate off and you finished the bread and you still left your rubbish on the side.
I've got ADHD.
Honestly,
Right.
like...
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
We have a baby. Who is sleeping just up the top of those stairs,
Right.
who wakes up at noises.
I hear you.
So last night,
Yeah.
the baguette wrapper, I had to get the corner of it and shake it
No,
so that the baguette came out as quietly as possible, and then I gently placed it
No,
down.
you're being dramatic.
No, I'm telling you.
He goes to bed and I do the dishes and I'm clanking them dishes round and he
No,
doesn't
but
wake
during
up.
the night's different because he's
no.
he's very... Oh, look at your face. I'm telling I was trying to be as quiet as possible last night. That is why everything was out. Doesn't excuse the crumbs. Doesn't excuse it still being there when I get back from school. But the reason I leave stuff out is genuinely because I don't want to wake the baby by crumpling stuff.
That's the biggest pile of
Yeah,
I've
it's
ever
true.
heard.
God's honest truth. That's true.
Well, I feel like the furry again that comes round and just cleans all that up because
I should clean it up in the morning. I shouldn't be eating at 3 o'clock in the morning either. But I should clean it up in the morning if I do have a during the next night.
there's no reason you can't put that in the bin. I'm sorry, but I'm not hearing that.
That recycling bin's loud.
Stick it in the big bin.
No, because I take my recycling very serious.
Okay. That's my moan.
I hear you and I'll work on it.
Thank
you.
Thanks. I'm excited for this one.
Oh,
I always get very nervous on yours because you never give anything away.
No.
And then your daughter mentioned this week, and then you were like, no, it's my moan done.
so I've got a choice of two.
Wisely.
I think because you mentioned the one that my daughter mentioned, we need to go for that.
Okay.
It's a secret. We're living in a house of secrets and looks, and I get in from work, and you and the kids are just looking at each other and making faces and telling secrets and whispering, and it's horrible.
Oh, what secrets?
Well, I don't know because I don't know the secrets. You just tell each other wee secret and then give each other wee looks. And you even mentioned it today, and you make the looks, and you be, do you know how that makes me feel in my own home?
Especially because you've got ADHD.
I know, it's not as if I'm a paranoid person.
So we do give each other looks.
Yeah, you do.
I get that. And that's normally when you're being a bit moody or you've just shouted at someone and we're just a bit like... Right.
Then there's secrets. And then I hear the next day that you fancy everybody on telly. But it's a secret.
I'm pretty sure you told her you wanted to climb in someone's belly button.
Oh, right. No, I never. But... But it's a very secretive house we live in,
So
against me.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't really know any secrets, if I'm honest. I'm trying to think now.
You whisper. A lot of whispering. You think I don't know because I'm on Marketplace? I can hear you.
You've got noises in your head, mate. You've got noises in your head. I can't even think of a secret right now that I've got against you.
Because you want to tell me. Because it's a secret.
Honestly, I'm going to have to go back to your daughter and be like, what secrets have you got?
It's a secret. It's the looks and and I can see you.
So, I hear you. We do them looks.
Yes.
Do you ever do looks behind my back?
No.
Oh, no, when you're just like, meh.
No, I would just sit in front of you.
And it's not that it's just we're just communicating to each other that we both agree that you're being a bit of a... oh God, need a better word than what I've got in my head. That you're being a bit moody. So it's just that we need to clock each other and be like, oh, yeah.
Oh, so maybe we could discuss that as a family rather than faces behind people's backs
Family
and
meeting on
secrets.
Wednesday.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, right, okay. That's not what I was expecting.
No. Okay.
I look forward to the next one, the next episode.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so the last thing then, I've got some little stories from people. I say stories, they're just like little messages that we've been sent and stuff. But some of them are quite funny. So you spoke last week in the bonus episode about where you're up to with the doctors and stuff like that. This person sent in, so basically they forget, they had to send us some papers in advance for an upcoming diagnosis. they delayed, then forgot, and then their partner reminded them, and then they sent them in late. And they took solace in the fact that they'll probably get that all the time. Like the doctors will probably get that all the time, which I found quite funny. But another one said that basically that they forgot again. They were doing the test and they forgot to bring something along with them, and they just saw some off. They thought, "Oh, I've definitely got it then." And it's that forgetfulness. So I thought that was quite funny because that had been brought on by the bonus episode.
It's exactly what we spoke about. It's flawed because it is not designed with people with ADHD in mind. It's a terrible system.
Yeah. This one I liked. This person said they forgot they were listening to a voicemail message and started answering to it like they were talking to the person on the phone. Have you ever had that?
No, because I don't talk on the phone.
Oh, very true, actually. Very true. And then this one, I got a message about this and I just was howling because I feel like it's you and also your son. So they've got these recycling bins and one of them's got a perfectly round hole for throwing out cans. And their partner came into the room and asked them if they'd dropped something. And they were like, what? Until they noticed their arm was entirely in that hole because it was perfectly shaped in arm height. And they'd just done it automatically.
100%.
And I was like, is that ADHD or is that just you absolutely just like messing around?
Yeah, I would do that.
But both of you would.
Yeah.
And
fire brigade.
Honestly, don't. That's a story for another time. But I just like, it made me laugh that long because they obviously, you get sidetracked, don't you, from doing stuff, and you probably put a can in there and then thought, I could fit my arm in there.
Yeah, I hear that.
Brilliant. That's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. It's been amazing, our little new home.
It's been really good. Love this, yeah.
Yeah,
brilliant.
So we're back in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much.
Socials.
Sorry?
Socials. Follow,
sorry.
like, and subscribe.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm out of touch. If you've got any good, bad and ugly stories, send them over to adhdorlife@gmail.com. Follow us on our socials, ADHD or Life Pod. Yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, and I've gave up on Twitter. Don't worry about that.
No. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and send any ADHD good, bad and ugly stories to adhdorlife@gmail.com.